Welcome to Critical Hit, a Major Spoilers podcast. Thank you so much for downloading and checking out the game this week. We let that one ghost go. Matthew, it's going to come back and haunt us. I'm just saying. 5 points for
I
Brian.
felt like the 30-second sigh really...
Rodrigo, where are we going this week besides wandering around in this dungeon area?
Cave of Wonders.
I feel like you guys didn't so much let it go as you're getting away from it.
Yeah, we're running from it because we want to save our hit points.
All right. So why don't you tell me more about the situation that you're in?
We are headed
In secret
to
underground tunnels.
the 1,000-hectare armory.
Yep.
Yeah. By way of...
Well, you're already there. The 1,000-hectare armory is the entire island, right?
So we were in one underground dwarven encampment. We are trying to make our way across the city that makes up a big chunk of the island to find another dwarven encampment, meet up with them, and maybe find a way to break in and deal with whatever happened to Overdon.
Okay. Do you remember what the dwarven encampment that you're coming from is called?
The
Bumble.
the
Bumblehearth,
Yes.
Hearth. Yeah.
place of many bees and mead.
Yes.
Do you remember what the place you're going is called?
Ooh, that's
Fribble
much tougher
Snort,
question.
where they
Pharaoh
snort
Fort. Pharaoh
fibbles.
Fort.
Yep, that's right, Pharaoh Fort.
I knew it was something like that.
I mean, yeah, you got the phonemes, or you got the vowel sounds right.
I had the rhyming.
Okay, so that's where you're going, and what happened in the interim there?
We got ambushed by some specters.
Mm-hmm.
Scary ghosts.
And we beat the
and they
crud out of
screamed at us.
them.
Yes, but they
That's-
screamed at us a few times.
At the cost of quite a bit of
Yes.
Resources.
Yes.
Yeah.
At least on my part.
Yeah.
However, using those resources made us amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
we rocked that combat.
Well, it's been a long time, and I don't remember, so I'm just gonna take my word. I'm just gonna take your word for it.
I seem to have been uninjured during that fight. Cool. Good work, me.
And we actually had a moment where Brian made everybody attack one guy, and it was
Oh,
amazing.
yeah, that
and
was
it was
sweet.
Yes.
it was a total Power Rangers moment.
You guys played that pretty well. Again, at the expense of some resources. When you get to be
Fairly
epic
potent
level,
day
you have a
does-
lot of resources at your disposal, so you're kind of trading dailies for hit points.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of resources, Rodrigo, a lot of people were saying they were surprised I didn't use a power against the undead.
Yep, that's right. That power didn't make it onto your sheet, and that's on me because it's a rebuke undead. I think is the one that it is the that's the Avenger one.
Mm-hmm.
Is a channel divinity power, and the way that channel divinity powers work, you get one shot of channel divinity, which you can use to activate one of a handful of channel divinity powers. Usually characters come in with two, but you can take feats to get more. And again, that one didn't make it onto the sheet. You've had the other one on the sheet this whole time, but I think because it was optional, it just kind of fell by the wayside.
Yeah.
But we send you a new sheet, and now it's on there.
All right, so good to know. We got that in front of us, and now everyone can stop yelling at their iPods
Yeah.
or other mobile devices.
I think
Start
everybody.
yelling
Yeah.
at the other driver.
Yeah, stop yelling at your Zune.
As explained before, things have gotten so bad that Seven Owls forgot that he had this power.
It's just part of his horrible,
It's-
crippling depression
it's-
and alcoholism.
It's just about time he got help, but it's hard when you're in the middle of adventure / invasion / counter invasion. So you guys made it through that fight. Does that
Yep.
catch us up?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You guys had managed to take out a bunch of weirdly gelatinous specters, either by hitting them until they dissipated, or at least in one case, like comically knocking it on the head and having it fall backwards like into a window or something. And yeah, there you guys are, standing around in a busted up city. Sounds of pikes and other gear sounding closer by the second.
Can I try to navigate said city to find us a place that we can duck into and patch ourselves up for a moment?
Yeah.
Would that be a
What do you-
dungeoneering thing that?
No,
Somebody
that
else
would
might
probably
be
be
better at, or
a
no?
streetwise, right?
Yeah, you can do streetwise.
Cool.
32.
32 is pretty good. Yeah, you are able to find. I mean, most of these buildings are abandoned, so you can find maybe one that is not easily accessible from the first floor, where you guys can basically hop up onto a busted up window and crawl inside for you guys to patch yourselves up for a few minutes.
Short rest.
Woohoo!
Hey.
Oh, we lost a bunch of surges
Let's
there,
see.
Matthew.
131.
Hmm.
So I need to still spend one more surge. So I'm down to 5 surges, and I'm all the way back up to full health.
All right.
Okay.
I'm like 7 points down. Is it even worth wasting a
No.
surge?
It is not.
Not
I
at
don't think
all.
so. Well, my surge
Your
value
s-
is like 60, so
Yeah, I would say
That
your
would be like-
surges are also ridiculous. That's
As I'm down
Oh.
30 points, but my surge is 40.
that one might be
that
worth it.
seems worth it. That's only 25% loss.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll spend a healing surge then.
It
Your
also
surge is
depends
still
how
getting
many
a
you have
C.
left.
Yeah, I
That's
suppose
true.
that's fair.
Yeah, I haven't spent any, it seems.
Yeah, you might as well, honestly.
Yeah.
Just because when you get into the action economy, if you weren't into another combat, you'd have to spend an action just to spend that surge.
Fair enough.
Mhm.
I will
Action
spend
economy
0, go
sounds
back up
terrible.
to full.
Don't ever say that again.
It's an important game concept.
Mhm.
It's like the meta game in competitive games. It's just something that creeps in.
I would say it's kind of all role-playing games with combat.
Yeah, Rob lives in the action economy.
Yeah.
That's his address.
Well, I live in the moment.
Yeah, I know. And they,
The theater of the mind.
That's how
Yes.
you sound. It's fine. We're cool. I will walk away from this one because it's just one of those things where I hate certain concepts like, Black Friday and I don't know, toenail polish. You can't argue with me on it's not worth it. So I'm going to say yes, Rodrigo, you are correct. I will walk away.
All right. So, yep, there you guys are in a busted up building. Pretty much within the time that it takes you to rest becomes, if not surrounded, then at least noticed by a small, well, maybe not small, by a medium-sized platoon of what appeared to be ghosts.
Oh, God.
They've got steel helmets with an obsidian shard in the front, and they've got long spears with obsidian tips, and they are wearing kind of steel armor with obsidian accents as well. This armor appears to protect them, but also you see at least a couple of them just like phase through something, and even though this armor seems solid, it seems to phase along with them.
Is that normal for ghosts?
No.
So that is something that someone who's run into ghosts would go, that's very unusual.
Yeah, that is something that someone who's run into ghosts would think either that's something new that you're not familiar with, or each of those ghosts is expending an immense amount of effort to do that to that armor, which seems unlikely.
Hmm.
They've noticed us.
They haven't noticed you,
Oh,
but
okay.
they are very close to you.
All right, then Sparkle will raise a finger in front of her beak and start trying to look around for a way to try to move people out of here quietly.
Presumably there is somewhere where you can go quietly. Why don't you guys go ahead and roll me initiative?
Yeah.
Saw that coming.
Obviously.
7 L's wise.
40, nat 20.
Nice. Good place to spend it.
Yeah, right. Can I take the can I take the 13 and save the 20 for my first turn?
Yeah, just can I bank that?
You have a feat that lets you move upon rolling initiative, right?
Right.
Or a power.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do.
Yeah, I was wondering if, because there's powers that give you that you can just be like, I would like a +10 to my initiative now. So it'd be great if you had one of those and you were like, you know what?
No, it's just one.
I'm just gonna go at 50, even though it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no. Avenger's Readiness gives me +5 and allows me to shift before the combat even starts.
Well, see, there you go. Would you like to go to 45?
Sure.
No, don't. But no, don't. Albrecht.
31.
Dallin.
22, and yet somehow not last.
Little Sparkle.
32.
Okay.
Oh man.
And Sakar.
Sakar was so surprised by seeing those ghosts doing that terribly unnatural thing that he rolled a 21.
Presumably here, you guys are trying to sneak past or move past at least any patrols and get back on course. Does that sound like what you'd be trying to accomplish here?
It does.
Sounds
All
right.
right. Well, let's go to 7 L's wise.
Well, I'm sorry, Sam, that you and I are right next to each other, but I'm going to have to use stealth.
That's fine.
So that I can sneak around the corner and duck behind a little alleyway so that they don't see us. So I will roll stealth and fail miserably.
That's what you get for sniping my skill.
Now I can
Got
roll
an action point on that, buddy?
Yeah, I think so. Which is funny. I rolled a 20 and a 1. So I can just re-roll the stealth again, right?
Yep. If you spend an action point, you
I
can
will.
reroll
My
it.
second action point.
Yep.
And I get barely even anything better. A 27.
That is low.
That is way low. Probably not high enough, considering I only rolled a 4 on a 23 stealth.
That is correct. You got anything else to
I got
throw
nothing
in
else. I have nothing else.
Okay.
Once again, 7 L's wise fails the party.
Yes, you identify another window that you can jump down, and sure enough, 7 L's wise jumps down quietly onto a comical trash can, thrown away rack of wood and cat combo. Probably not a cat, but yes, he basically jumps down onto something he thought was solid, but we'll say it just turned out to be a little supply cart that just had a bunch of clinkly clanky stuff in it, making lots of noise.
Damn
and
dwarves.
Immediately getting a bunch of ghosts to look in your direction, at which point they just spot you guys.
Yeah, that's fine. They spot me, right? They don't spot everyone else because they're still inside or whatever.
They spot you and they see Little Sparkle's head poking out, and probably Sakar's head also. Who's next? Probably Albrecht's head also poking out of the window.
Oh, okay.
So Little Sparkle.
All right. Well, having already kind of tried to get a lay of the land in terms of the city to find us this little hidey hole to patch up in, I'm going to try to use my streetwise to figure out a good series of networks that we can, or halls or alleys or whatever, that we can try to run down to evade these guys.
Okay.
I have a nat 20 for a 48 streetwise.
All right.
Dang.
Well, that's a success. They definitely did not expect you to turn that way.
No, okay.
Assuming
I already
the rest
know
of
this
you,
city better than they know it themselves.
assuming that everybody else is following Little Sparkle gets you guys at least a few steps ahead.
I've still got a crate on my foot.
Yep. Albrecht.
Perception to keep a lookout and to basically say when to stop or to run now, or just
Okay.
And roll. Oh, another nat 20 for 43.
Wow.
Okay.
You guys are real all or nothing here. Albrecht is just like feeling real at home here. It's good to have good solid stone beneath your feet and above your head and to either side of you. He can, he does a couple of like write down like uncanny like stop as like, like a spear will like fly through the air and land in the spot where one of you was going to be, as essentially the ghosts are like running parallel to you guys down an alley and trying to like skewer you before they round the corner. So that'll take us to Dalin.
I want to teleport ahead to scope things out. I want to use Arcana to teleport to basically stay out of line of sight of these guys.
Bump around up above to get a lay of the land.
That'll be a 33.
It is not going to succeed.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Any rerolls there?
Nope. I used all of my possible rerolls in the combat.
And the action point?
Yep.
Oh,
Said all of my possible rerolls.
Okay.
All right.
Good start, guys.
Yep.
All right. So
I mean, we've rolled 3 20s.
We have.
And a 1.
And also a 1. And a 6.
It's a 7.
So yes,
Yeah,
Dalin.
the pointy ones are 7s.
Dalin teleports to a higher vantage point, and spots the ghosts and spots where the party is and gets what he feels is a good lay of the land. But also he realizes he never got around to dismissing Shadow Dalin, who is just imitating his motions like a couple alleys down, and kind of alerts the ghosts to where you guys are going, which is going to take us to Sakar.
So Dalin has identified a possible avenue of exit.
Yes.
But you see, there's a problem. There's like a locked gate in the middle of a wall that Sakar is going to have to use his athletic skills to parkour up, flip down the other side silently, and open it so that the others won't have to waste time picking a lock.
Sure.
That sounds like what happened. Fortunately, I keep my athletics numbered for really, really low rolls.
Wow.
On both of them.
Oof.
Is that a 5 and a 1 there?
That is a 5 and a 1.
That is a 5 and a 1. However, this is the thing. I did not action point during that last combat.
Yay.
Nice, and that means you get to reroll both of them.
Do I?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. We'll try it again. Pair of 12s.
Wow.
For a 36. Please tell me a 36 hits.
36 does not hit.
Well, that was a fast skill challenge.
At least the action point wasn't wasted.
Yeah, exactly. We do get a milestone even as we get mauled by ghosts.
Let's say this.
Wasn't my fault.
It
Yeah,
wasn't.
Brian didn't even get to go. Oh, no, he did.
No, he did.
Sorry.
He succeeded. He pulled his weight.
Yeah, I feel like we got a couple successes there. Whoever did that should high five each other.
Virtual high five.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's say that Shadow Dalin actually turns out to be equally confusing. And so you guys are able to, in fact, make your way to a big gate that clearly leads up and out of this place. The catch, of course, being that it is woefully out of your way. You guys were, in essence, basically, let's say, supposed to be heading straight east, and this is going to get you, like, you've all but crossed the city, and you are now way south of where you're supposed to be, and this is just going to get you more south, but it'll at least get you out of the city. Sakar, goes over to it, tries to open it, and it does not open. This is a big old iron gate. It appears to be very, very well built. That strong dwarven craftsmanship. And yeah, when Sakar tries to lift it, he can't lift it. It's too heavy. And when he tries to climb over it, there are essentially it's just wall. There's a ledge that kind of implied that there would be a way through, but there isn't when he gets up there. It's just, you know, a set-in wall, presumably where that allows the gate to then pull up and through that space. You've managed to at least momentarily not have any ghosts behind you, but now you're stuck at this gate.
Can I take a look and see if I can open it with thievery?
Sure. Why don't you give me a perception check first
Sure.
to check what the dealio is.
35.
So you start inspecting the gate right around the time where you realize that there's probably a place with a lever somewhere that's going to pull this up. Like the mechanism is not by the gate. You look up at, we'll say, the sort of, as you guys approach the right side of this gate, to see what appears to be kind of a booth with some, or yeah, it's just like a stone alcove, kind of like basically a booth that just built into the wall, and has clearly the rail for a like a ladder to be attached or rolled up, but there isn't anything there. And it also has a little window, and when you spot it and see that it's a little booth with a window and a place for a ladder, you also see a ghost, one of these helmeted ghosts, looking at you from that window.
Oh no. How far away is it from me?
It's pretty far. I mean, it's, you know, far, like too far to jump it, certainly. It's pretty high up so that he can get a good vantage onto what's going on.
Too far for me to like throw a dagger at him.
No, you can throw a dagger at him.
All right, I will try doing my weird little transposing trick where I throw a dagger at him and use my fancy dagger that Unstuck in Time Rand has made me to teleport to where he is if I hit him.
Okay. You throw a dagger and he kind of just ducks in his booth, and your dagger kind of clangs inside his booth, and he just kind of like pokes his head out again.
But he doesn't like immediately raise an alarm or anything?
Nope.
He's probably waiting for a ticket.
Tollbooths are used to having knives thrown at.
Literally the phantom toll booth.
Yeah, definitely when he pokes his head out again, he doesn't like, he just kind of like, you can just see like his eyes and his helmet.
Mm-hmm. I'll have my dagger returned to me because it's a magic dagger.
Yep.
Hello?
Hey, what are you guys doing?
We are trying to leave.
Out this way?
I mean, ideally we'd rather leave a different way, but this is the way we are, so yeah, I guess.
No. Well, this is a very noisy gate.
Oh. Well, thank you for letting us know.
Yeah,
Is
you
there
can't hardly raise it past like here, and he like, you guys hear like a clunk, and it like lifts up about maybe 2 feet off the ground. It's like anything past this is just going to be way too noisy.
Oh, good. We wouldn't want to raise a racket. Is there a quieter exit?
This is that amount that he lifted it is probably enough for you guys to crawl through.
Oh, perfect. I am sliding under it like a action hero trying to, I don't know, avoid the collapsing temple.
Okay.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm just a ghost guard.
No. Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, let's just go.
We just go.
Bye.
Don't tell anybody we were here. Thank you.
Okay.
Good to know bureaucracies are inefficient and weird everywhere.
Rick just kind of lays on the ground and just pulls himself under through the gate.
Yeah, it's definitely toughest for Albrecht to get through because he's kind of the same height, like in all directions.
Legs kicking and pushing. And, all right, I'm out.
And then definitely has to like pull his hammer through and then like turn it and then pull it the rest of the way.
Kind of pivoted around the head.
Yep.
All right. Think we're good to go.
Yeah.
Guess we have to.
Yeah. Oh well, maybe better this way.
That was extremely unnerving.
Yeah.
Well, I guess at least we got an idea what they were talking about.
And now it's time to run.
Sounds good to me.
All right. You guys make your way up the tunnel?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, yeah, the incline on this thing gets more pronounced as you guys go up. It's pretty clear that this is a wide tunnel that's supposed to lead, in and out of this city, probably for like carts and stuff. And eventually you get to the top and you are in what appears to be a very similarly constructed, but obviously different because it's on the surface, kind of version of the previous city that you were in. If you look back down the tunnel, there is a dwarven inscription kind of over the tunnel.
What does it say?
It says...
You're asking me. I'm asking you.
I'm asking
it says, yep, it says, "Welcome to Nanny Man's."
Welcome to Nanny Man's?
Mm-hmm.
Who's Nanny Man?
I guess we're Nanny Man's.
I see. Not Pharaoh Fort.
Negative.
Well, we need to probably figure out where Pharaoh Fort is from here and quickly make our way. Time is not on our side.
Do we know anything about the layout of the island?
Some of you do.
Yeah, I don't know that we got this into the... I was never here when we were on the island.
Right.
So I don't really know the individual cities. I spent most of our time in the forge or out in like some of the peripheral villages. But maybe we can find a map somewhere.
Looking for a map seems like the best idea.
I mean, you guys have maps.
Do we have maps of the island?
I mean, you have you have like a map of the entire island.
Oh, okay. Then let's consult it and try to figure out the "you are here" and where the best way is to go.
You guys break out the map. Are you just like standing out in front of the tunnel?
I'll try to find us again, like a out of the way little building for us to go hide in.
Okay. Yeah, things seem to be abandoned here. There do not appear to be any immediate patrols. Although there are signs that there have been patrols through here. So you guys break out the maps and are able to find Nanny Man's, which again, when you're looking at a map of the island, is like, here's Nanny Man's, here's Bumblehearth, dishearteningly close, and simultaneously dishearteningly far away from Pharaoh Fort, which is over here. And oh look, here's like the path that you could have followed, and yeah, that would have gotten you there a lot easier.
Great.
But now we can't double back.
Shades.
I bet that's where Shadow Dolan is.
Actually, they've they've conscripted him. Next time you meet Shadow Dallin, he's going to be wearing a ghost helmet.
Yeah, you think that's a ghost now.
Maybe he can pick me up some of that cool ghost armor.
Yeah.
Well, can we plot out what looks like a logical course to Pharaoh Fort
Pharaoh
from
Fort.
here?
Mhm.
And how tall is the building that we're in?
This one is maybe 3 stories.
Can we kind of quietly sneak up to the top and look out and see if we can see a pattern of where those patrols might have been patrolling and see if we can ensure that our path to Pharaoh Fort doesn't cross with those patrols?
I mean, you can ensure that your path doesn't cross with any immediate patrols in this particular town. It's pretty clear that they, come to the center of town, spend some time here, and like fan out through the buildings. So
Okay.
you can just avoid that. Also, none of these patrols are particularly trying to be quiet. You are going to run into problems once you're out of this town, and there's a big question mark as to whether there's ever going to be a patrol around the bend.
Getting out of town is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, we'll try to run a safe play where I scout ahead and try to make sure that we don't run face first into any patrols, and then let you guys know when it's safe.
That's a plan. Ready,
All
break.
right.
Do you think it would be a good idea to stay here and rest?
I mean, I'm fine to proceed,
Okay,
I would say.
and I'd rather not waste more time.
that's fine. Let's move then.
What? We've had a short rest, correct?
Short
Mhm.
rest. Yeah.
A long rest is 8 hours.
Yep.
6 hours, I think. 6 to 8 hours. I don't remember exactly how much it is, but yes, pretty close to that.
Probably longer than we want to spend here.
Yeah.
So let's have a bit
Try
of a
this again.
montage
It's a good thing we
as
have
you
those. Good thing we
as
have
you
those
guys
action
try
points.
to over the course of the next day to week, depending on how badly you guys do, try to make it from Nanny Mans to Pharaoh Fort.
Even Rocky had a montage.
Mhm.
Always faded in a montage.
All right, let's roll initiative. 7 Elsewise.
31.
Albrecht.
32.
Dallin.
22.
Little Sparkle.
41.
And Sakar.
34 rather. I'm sorry. Math is hard.
So there you guys are. This area is so the 1,000-hectare armory is overwhelmingly urban, as in there are parts of it that are forested and parts of it where there are no buildings, but the majority of it is streets and stuff that sometimes gets broken up by like a significant forest or a hill that's big enough that you can't just walk up it. But generally speaking, you guys are traversing through streets up until you get to an area that's going to be more forested, and you'll hit a handful of those on the way there, assuming you don't run into any trouble. Let's start with Little Sparkle.
All right. Well, as previously discussed, I'm going to try to take us on a stealthy path, so to scout ahead and forge safe paces. So I'd love to make a stealth check for you. 38.
38 is a success. Yep, Little Sparkle establishes a good system for scouting ahead, letting her know that there are plenty of patrols, which will take us to Sakar.
So this does not piggyback off the last one. I can use the same skill here to start out that I used to end last time, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Good to know. I think I'm actually going to do maybe a perception check to make sure that I'm not missing something that Little Sparkle is missing as we move on down the river and like that.
Yeah.
39.
39 is a success.
There you go.
So yes, Sakar and Little Sparkle establish a good visual perimeter.
Lots of hand and feather signals.
That's going to take us to Albrecht.
Wondering if maybe if we run into any other wandering patrols, if I can get a read on if they're basically someone will just kind of let us mosey along and sight it up to get the read on who cares or not.
Okay.
Ooh, 34.
34 is not going to do it.
I'll spend the action point.
Okay. Yeah, do
38.
recall that you guys picked up an action point.
Yep.
Good.
38 is a success. So Albrecht is pretty sure that last ghost let you guys through because he was a conscript. Like he was probably just like a regular ghost that was living in Endgate and got pressed into service. So it's unlikely that any of these patrols are going to let you through because there's going to be multiple ghosts. Like that's the sort of thing that you can get away with if nobody's watching you.
All right. Can I pass that along to my group and thereby provide an insightful comment bonus?
Like, oh, sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, until the end of my next turn, me and each ally gain a +6 bonus to bluff, diplomacy, and intimidate checks if we can find a way to use them.
Ooh.
Okay.
I mean, you can always describe a way to use them.
Yep.
So that's going to take us to 7 Owls Wise.
Well, knowing that we are, moving across great distances and everyone's going to get a little tired here and there, I think a little healing action would help everyone out. So I'm going to go around, and as I see people starting to wear out, I'll go over and give them a little blessing, a little healing, and give them a 39 for the roll.
Nice.
That's a success. So yes, as you guys continue to travel, you guys are basically forcing yourselves to continue as much as possible, taking few rests, and there's bound to be some sores and some hunger, and 7 Owls is kind of is on top of it.
I'll wash
Which takes us
some feet and rub some tummies.
Yep. Which is going to take us to Dalin.
So, we're going to come across a couple points where the patrols are too tight and we don't have any real way forward.
Okay.
And Dalin's going to use Shadow Dalin to distract them with a bluff. Like, oh, here's the group going this way.
Yeah, that works for me.
Right. And what was the bonus to bluff checks, Brian?
+6.
Yeah. That'll be a 42.
Wow. Hey, what are you doing here? And they chase after Shadow Dalin. So does that bonus go away now, or can anybody continue to use it until you go again, Brian?
Lasts until the end of his turn. Next turn.
It seems until the end of your next turn, each target gains a bonus.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I like how you guys keep saying bonus.
Lotus.
They were getting bluff mixed in.
Yeah, bluff
bonus.
It's a bonus.
It's a buff bonus. Yeah. It's a blue Blairy bluff muff.
All right. So that's going to take us back to Little Sparkle. You guys are making pretty good time and have had a minimal amount of spears thrown at you.
Yay.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, if it's possible, like you said, if this was the kind of thing where we can maybe diplomatize people who are alone because they're conscripts and don't want, so like in the process of stealth, maybe I could try to spot some conscripts or dissenters and try to stir up unrest in the ranks when possible with diplomacy. If that doesn't work, that's fine. I can use something else, but.
Yeah, I don't think that in and of itself will work, but there's something there. Especially since, you can like throw your voice and stuff.
Sure, yeah, but I was thinking of using a bluff check, but Dalin just used that.
Oh, that's true. So yeah,
apologize.
I don't think
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
think direct diplomacy is going to work here,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
that was my thought. Yeah, I thought about bluffing to sow dissent among the ranks, but like I said,
I mean, how's your intimidate?
it's not bad. It's yeah, it's not bad at all. So yeah, I could try to again imitate the voice of like some superior officer that we see, and like try to like scare people off in a direction at some point with like a kind of almost fusion intimidate bluff check.
Sure. Yeah, I'd allow that.
Cool. All right, I'll take that +6. Thank you. For a 34.
That is not going to make it.
All right, I will use always a natural to attempt to re-roll that.
Okay.
Into a 38.
38 is a success.
Woohoo!
I like how we
It's
haven't
like
done
night and
anything
day with
between
you
34
guys.
and 38.
Yes. So there's definitely a time where Little Sparkle convinces some ghosts that their commanding officer really is very mad at them because they haven't gathered firewood, and they are very confused because they don't get cold. But it's like, all right.
It's
It's gonna take us to Sakar.
aesthetic fire. Makes us look spookier.
Spooky fire, blah. All right, so this has been some considerable amount of time.
Yes.
And-
You guys have been traveling probably for a couple days now.
Okay. So clearly, Little Sparkle is not going to always be the head stealtherator. I actually don't find stealth on my skill sheet.
Yeah, it's because you're bad at it.
You're
Don't
so
use it.
bad
Use
at it.
athletics. Use something else. Please
You
don't
don't
use
know
stealth.
that I'm bad
I
at
know
it.
you're bad at it. It's happened. We've had this discussion so many times.
I was going to say, if anyone would know.
Let's
Rodrigo,
see.
do I have stealth?
Where
You do have
is-
stealth. It's under your skills, towards the bottom.
My skills end at perception.
Yes,
yep,
they do.
So they do.
See, take it as a sign from the gods.
Fine.
It looks like
Use your perception. It's better than your stealth.
looks like
You
a
did
plus
that last
13
time.
to me.
I can't do
That's
perception.
bad. That's very bad.
Will you just stop?
I mean, she's not wrong.
I've got
Uh.
Samantha on 10. I need Samantha on about 4.5. All right. So, did it better?
It means you need to roll
Whiz it.
above a 20 to succeed.
Infinity. All right. So, as a minor action, I can switch to a blood wolf form, and I can run ahead and look around as a shadowy wolf that looks like something that clearly is not one of those weird adventurers they're trying to catch, which gives me a +5 power bonus to my athletics check. So I am going to use my athletics to like whoosh around and scout ahead and try and give us an idea so that Little Sparkle doesn't have to work herself to death, even though she's on my last nerve. That's out of character. In character, we're best friends. We're Team Pointy.
I mean, I assume in the character you're like, I could scout for you, and she's like, I'm good. It's cool. It's like, haven't you not slept for 10 hours? It's like, yeah, I got this.
I gotta say, I'm fine with this roll, and I'm also fine with Little Sparkle and Sakar being pissed at each other because you guys have been traveling together this whole time, not getting a lot of rest. It's fine. It's
Okay.
like clearly after they like, I thought I was never gonna see you again. Like now you're back to being teammates.
Yeah.
So this is an athletics check.
The honeymoon reunion is over.
Yeah.
It does not get any bonus from Albrecht's bonusy bonuses.
Right.
Unless I'm bluffing athletics.
No, that is not a thing.
44.
44 will do it.
Because that wolf thing that I did. A freaky bone on the outside shadowy ghost wolf. Are there any other are the ghosts generally like just look like dead humans, or is there anything weird and freaky that might actually have Sakar's freaky snake blood ghost bone wolf thing look?
I
like
mean,
it doesn't count?
some of the patrols are like the specters.
Mm-hmm.
So those things are not normal ghosts and might
Those
freak you
those are
out.
guys in green cloaks and swimming trunks. I've seen specters before.
Right.
They're scary.
Yeah. Other than that, nope. You're either encountering normal ghosts or those like goopy shade guys.
Who are goopy and creepy and
Mhm.
just utterly unnerving. All right.
Yes, Sakar successfully manages to trek through the forest and spots what is very likely Pharaoh Fort off in the distance.
Yay.
Pointed in the right direction, at least.
Yep. So we'll go to Albrecht.
We find some sort of gate or like sewer entrance that's has some sort of mesh over it that I have to do an old classic bend bars lift gate roll to open up before a patrol comes along so we can slip in and get in before.
With athletics?
Yeah.
Did Sakar not just do athletics?
He did just did.
You did, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
We are all over each other's toes this time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Are you good
I
at
could
intimidate?
do-
You could try and scare the gates.
You're a dwarf. You have dungeoneering, right?
I got some dungeoneering.
Have you got more than 12 dungeoneering?
20.
Well, not terrible.
It's not the best either, but also kind of thinking I'll try it. Again, with the sewer entrance, just kind of
Sure, yeah.
get us inside a sneaky way. We're still good. Yeah, we can go for a... No, that's not going to do it.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Well, we're lost in the sewer, guys.
Did she use your action point already?
I did.
We'll say
Do you have
that
an action point?
No, I spent it last round.
Oh, no, in
No,
last
we
round.
milestoned.
No, he spent it in the first round.
Oh.
All right, here we go. 3 failures in a row. Bam, bam, bam. You guys can still fail this. I believe in you. So we'll say that Albrecht finds underground access. You guys make your way through and pop out like almost right inside the city. But also right next to a ghost camp. They haven't noticed you yet. But it's like literally like when you guys like pop out, you're like lifting up like a manhole type thing, and it just like full on lifts up a crate like right next to like a ghost. They just haven't seen it.
My extra bonuses are gone.
Yep. So 7 owls wise.
Well, I guess I'm going to have to try to use stealth and
Redemption.
quietly get out of here because my other option is no longer available. So 32.
32's not going to do it.
I will use that action point and stealth again for even worse. 25.
No!
Oh, wow.
So
my
close.
stealth is really good, you know.
So close.
Oh, man, oh, man. You guys are so good. It's just like so great. I know I can always count on you guys. Yeah, 7 owls wise is very focused on quietly getting out of there, and in fact is so focused on quietly getting out of there that he ends up on the opposite side of the camp, as everyone else, and makes it that way quietly. But now you guys are kind of separated from him, and of course he's like has put himself in a very precarious position. We'll go to Dalin.
I got this.
Yeah, I think you got this.
Oh yeah.
So we're on the opposite side of the camp from 7 Owls Wise right now, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna teleport over there, grab him, and teleport back.
All right.
Arcana.
There you
Yeah, 41. Yeah, I didn't even have to use my action point.
All right. 41 is a success. You manage to get 7 owls away from that particular camp, and you guys even managed to get a little bit farther along the wall, and now you guys just presumably have to find a way in. But you guys do not get found out by no ghost patrols.
So we're trying to get into the fort, like
Yeah.
outside.
So you guys are above ground.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically staring at a truly enormous and sheer and smooth wall of black stone.
Okay.
Um,
Speak, friend, and enter.
Yeah, there does not appear to be any doors where you guys are at.
Well, how did you guys get into these things before?
I believe we entered from underneath.
Dalin, do you have any idea of how this is supposed to open? Or not Dalin, sorry, Albrecht.
Albrecht. Just kind of wondering. I don't know, do I?
Well, I mean, I thought this is a breaking character going back into Orem mode, but when we were in the main city, there was like not a subway entrance, but something like that led down underneath.
It was like weird gravity nonsense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when Little Sparkle asks Albrecht, he, potentially has like a little moment where it's like, yeah, there's gonna be a huge gate. You just have to like follow the wall around until you find it. Right? It's like you don't get into cities, like most cities don't have a magical entrance. Like you either come in from the underground, which is also going to be gated if this thing is in fact a fort, which it clearly is by its giant wall. If you want to get in from the outside or from the
Top side?
from the surface, then there's going to be a surface entrance, which is probably going to be a big guarded gate.
So we're going to slowly walk around the edge of the fort until we find it.
Okay. As you guys slowly walk around the edge of the fort, you see that there is a big forest that borders the fort. And in fact, as you go along the wall, you see that the forest has grown wild and unkempt, and eventually you guys find it pushing right up against the wall where the trees are. The wall is very strong, but the trees have grown right up onto it.
Well, that's good for cover.
It's also good to climb up and get over the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder how come the ghosts haven't done that.
They probably passed through the wall.
Maybe they have wards similar to the ones that are at Bumblehearth to keep them out.
Well, should we go up or do we want to continue to look for a gate?
Does it look like the trees would be tall enough?
Yeah, some of them are. At the very least, tall enough for you to like jump up onto the wall.
We could try shimmying up one and at least get an idea of what state the city is in.
Mm-hmm.
That seems reasonable. I don't know that we want to climb over
Bound
the wall
into
while
it, yeah, necessarily.
people are trying to hide/defend the city.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what's the plan here?
Sakar gonna climb a tree.
I think Seven Owls is going to do his wushu move where he just kind of ballets up to the branches in like 2 steps.
All right. Who wants to take it?
I've got a. What am I doing? Acrobatics for that?
Sure.
All right. 36.
36 is pretty good. Yeah, you can get up to the wall.
Okay. Sakar going to try that as well?
Sure. Probably not acrobatically, though. Probably more of a Tarzan-y, athletic-y type of thing.
Okay.
Because, that's more of a thing that he's actually good at. Hey, there's an at 20.
All right. So Zakar gets up the wall as well. Once the two of you get up there, you see that it's not just that the forest has grown up to the wall, but in fact has grown past the wall, and on the inside is more forest. It doesn't cover the entire city, but it covers maybe like a quarter of the city. And it is just kind of these big, gnarly, overgrown trees.
It's been
I
here
wanna
for a while.
see.
You
My
also
sta-
see that you're very close to the edge of this forest, but as you look outward, some of these trees are really tall.
Certainly taller than they should be in an 8-month time frame.
Yes, if that's when they did. Then again, you guys haven't been here, so maybe these guys never got down to cutting down the crazy forest that grew here.
Oh, sure, during the dormant period.
Yeah, who knows? But certainly, if you approach it as from that direction, then yes, this forest would not have sprouted in 8 months.
Can I do a nature check and see if I can find out whether there's any obvious chicanery?
Yeah.
Or whether it seems like this is just an old forest that never got taken care of?
Yeah, go for it.
Cool.
Do I see any movement down below or in the city?
No, the city appears to be abandoned as far as you can tell.
So the car is going to reach out a branch and see if I can touch one of the branches of the tree and nature it up with a 31.
Yeah, you're pretty sure your initial hypothesis is correct. This forest is too new.
Does it look like there are any that we could reach and climb down into the inside of the wall, the inside of the city?
Sure. Yeah, you guys can, if what you want to do is get inside the wall, you can do that.
How high up are we?
This wall is probably a good, I don't know, what's a very, very tall, imposing fort wall?
78 feet.
Sure.
So for dwarfs, that's only 45.
45 is about 4.5 stories. So
Yeah, let's say it's a good, let's say a good solid like 6 stories up. But
so in the
yes, you
neighborhood of
can,
60 feet or more.
yeah, you can find trees, not just, I mean, it still takes a climb, but you can find trees big enough to support your weight to, if you take your time, climb all the way up a tree, walk along the wall, and then climb down another big old sturdy tree on the other side.
Yep.
If that's what you guys wanted to do.
Yeah. Yep. I'll throw a rope down so the others can maybe get up.
Okay.
Find a good solid hooky point for it.
All right. So you all get up on the wall?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're all looking out into the city. We'll say, if you're standing on the wall right where you climb up, to your right is a forest, apparently, that cuts across the city as a big wedge. To your left is the wall along the direction that you were coming. That is empty. You can see some ghost patrols off in the distance outside the city. And then right in front of you is like the city proper. It has different architecture from last two cities you were in. This one is very sort of rectangular and somewhat kind of sharp and angular. The buildings come up to kind of these like upward sweeping points in each corner. Seems to be just decorative, but that's kind of what it's got going on. And it's very likely that there is more city below.
All right. Well, we'll find out next time.
On Critical Hit!
There you go. As always, thank you so much for your support and listening to these shows week after week. We certainly enjoy these adventures as we sit around and play this game together and share it with you. If you have any questions, podcast@majorspoilers.com. Don't forget our Discord server where you can hang out and talk with a bunch of other Critical Hit fans. And if you are a patron, at patreon.com/majorspoilers, you have access to secret Critical Hit channels where you can talk about the shows that are coming out before everyone else gets to hear. It's all over there at our Discord server, a link in the show notes. So until next time, here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2019 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.